If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Deck Doctor. Quick reminder that if you want to submit one of your lists to be in one of these videos, that is something that's available to Obelisk Blue channel members. So you can think about that. The other day, though, I was spectating some random games that my teammate Sonny was playing, and he played against this deck that had this crazy rat box Dark Gaia pile of stuff with triple creature swap and whatnot. So we got the guy to send me the list afterwards, so I figured I would use it in a video. So this is the list that he sent me. As we can see, he's on triple Lava Golem with Fires of Doomsday and Creature Swap. With the full rat box, the Gigantes, you got the hero package to help get to Malicious Edge and the Divas as extra future fusion targets, I guess. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on in here, which is why I liked the build. There's a random Lightning Vortex too, which is neat. Right off the bat, there's obviously a couple things I'd probably change about it. I'd try to get us down to 40 cards, of course. I'd probably put MST in, play some good trap cards even on top of the decrees, maybe mess with some ratios. But first, we're going to play the deck as is, so let's get into that. First match we played was up against Vayu Turbo. They just go first, set Dust, then they kill my Decree. They draw Raikou for turn, which was really good for them because they needed something. So I decided just Caius here. It would have been better if I just set the Treeborn, I guess, but I didn't want to set Treeborn with Decree. That just seems really bad, and we've kind of drawn way too many normal summons, which was a common theme throughout this match. We go for Dark End, we get rid of the set, but it's just a Vayu hit directly. I decided not to set this because I feel like he might be on the triple Dust, and it actually was a Dust. The fact that it didn't do anything to stop my Dark End play made me think that it was probably a Dust Tornado or an MST, so I decided to hold the Doomsday just so he doesn't get value out of it, and also he doesn't feel like he can set more cards, but then he draws a Judgment, and so he just sets everything. Here, I decided to crash, or I try to crash the Gigantes, but he books it, and I think, yeah, I still don't set this because I feel like there's a set piece of spell trap removal, but he is able to out the Gigantes with the Caius. However, I made a huge mistake, and then I forgot to normal summon that turn. I could have just set a rat, and I would have been one normal summon ahead in this very normal summon brick heavy hand. So we get my my Fires end phase dusted, which I definitely should not have set that, I think. I'm not really sure. But we're gonna have plays next turn with Creature Swap. We draw another Fires of Doomsday. Is this okay, it's the second one I've drawn. So I was 99% sure this set card was Judgment at that point, because it had to be Road or Judgment. And Vayu doesn't generally play Road, so I was pretty sure it was Judgment, so I forced it out. We bounce with the Grand Mole. We set the Fires of Doomsday. We're probably good to go. I chain the Doomsday to the MST. Hits over one of the tokens. We're chilling. I go set, and I think he makes Dark End, which I kind of baited that out onto the set Card Trooper, forcing him to stack himself behind a turn. We go for the Dark Gaia. Would have been game, but he had the Battle Trap set, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to win on the spot there. He just decides to set. I just keep bouncing the thing with Grand Mole. We draw a second Dark Calling, but it is not live. We don't have a Fiend. The only Fiend I could get would be the Doomsday token with 0 attack, which is not even where I need it to be. It needs to be in the grave or in my hand, so tough luck there. Here I could have Vortexed, I guess, and then hit for 14, which turns off Brain Control. So maybe I should have done that. I don't know, I was trying to force the Gardna out, but because now I just get randomly game shotted by this, and I would have died even if he didn't have Elfin in his deck, so I think maybe a bit of a mistake there. I don't know. I wanted to be greedier with the Vortex. I didn't feel like I was going to randomly die, but leaving the Sirocco on the field was definitely dangerous. Here, I don't know why he did this. He could have just held the Greffer and the Sirocco Plague in hand and specialed it and then normaled Plague, because now you're just pitching Plague straight from your hand and you have to stack if you want to do a synchro play. So he hits over my rats. I get a Dandy. We go for the Caius. We hit over the Greffer. We're feeling pretty good. We're up a bunch of cards. Technically, he does have another card in the form of this Armed Wing. So he wrote us for Arma. I think he just decides to clear everything here. So stack for Plague. Go for the Thought Ruler and hit over everything. Gain some life points. That's fine. He sets bottomless. I special the Gigantes, and he bottomlesses me, so I decided to put that back and then use the Gores next turn, which is what I do. He hits with both. I do greed my Gores here, and he goes set Raikou. I do Lava Golem here, and then we just hit over both, and that's going to be the end of that game pretty much, because he's on no cards now, and we got an Ab-Zero coming, and we got a bunch of stuff, so opponent pretty much loses the game from this position. Yeah, we have Grand Mole attack, and he should just die next turn. So, yep. We pull it out in game number 2. Game number 3, we have an okay hand. We were able to answer the set monster with the Grand Mole. We also have the Gores again. I decided to use it straight away. The opponent should not have set this hamster, because they could have Caiused my Gores in main 2. Yeah, that was a throw. So we hit over. Okay, I go into this. I decided to play around it being a hamster and just like hope, and then it actually did turn out to be a hamster, so pretty good for me. He Caiuses the Dyna. He could have just gone greedier and Caiused the Gores, hit over the Dyna. So I think the way he's playing with this Caius was a little weird. My Gores gets Guard Nud. That's okay. As long as it's not getting deprisoned at this point, we are okay with that. The opponent just goes for Stardust here. Oh no, he makes like 2/8s with the Bayou. But as you can see, we got tons of gas in the form of the Lava Golem, the Dark Callings, and everything. So we're just completely chilling here. I activate Dark Calling. He flips Oppression. We flip Decree. Even if we didn't have this Decree, he was pretty much screwed. We had so much stuff. Or even if he didn't have the Oppression. So, or if I didn't have the Decree. Yeah, I mean, we had everything there. We had the creature swap. We had the Lava Golem. We were out the whole board, get a Stardust Dark Guy on our side. Dark Guy's like 36. So we actually end up cleaning up there against Vayu Turbo. I think our opponent made some very questionable plays, and we kind of got pretty lucky too. We drew really, really well. I think in every game except maybe in the first game we were opening a little bit weak in terms of having all the normal summons, but our opponent also had a slow hand, so it didn't matter. Interesting first match. Now we are back from having played the deck one match against Vayu Turbo. We did actually manage to win. Things went pretty well. I think that our opponent maybe played a little suboptimally, but that's neither here nor there. Overall, there were definitely some noticeable issues. I think we were drawing too many monsters too much. Like, for sure, that was the thing that was happening. Let's actually count the normal summons in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish, 11, 12, 13, 14. And these are kind of normal summons too. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's just like way too many normal. It's like 4 too many for a 40-card deck. So I think I want to slim this thing down in general. We also want to get below 40. But actually, before we do that, let's add some stuff in. For sure, I'm main decking Typhoon in just like any deck. And then I think with Decree, it's like cool to just run these 3 traps. Dust Shoot, Mirror, Torrential. I think you can get away with these 3 specifically and like nothing else on top of it. Vortex is just, I don't really know why it's even here, to be honest. I think that Dark Gaia kind of just like deals with them having a bunch of walls and stuff, so you don't really need the Vortex. And you have like triple Golem too. It sort of just conflicts with that. I don't think you're really lacking for removal here, and we're adding more in the form of the trap card, so we can probably go Vortex-less. I think the Jujitsu Master in the main is like super random and weird. I'm not sure why it's there. We should definitely side it though. That card's a great side deck card. I mean, it could be a good main deck card in another world where we were playing a different build, but I think in this Rat Box build, just playing a Jujitsu Master as a random one-off doesn't really make sense. So I think I'm going to side the Jujitsu Masters. We don't need... Here, let me mess with the side while we're at it. So there's too many limbs. We don't need Venice Fiend. We have triple Fossil Dyna. We can go like 3 Jujitsu if we really want to. Go Overkill on that card. Then we can go like Mind Crush. Also, I'm not sure why we aren't playing the 3rd Dark Gaia. I really think that... I mean, it damn near came up in one of the games, right? What's our Synchro lineup look like? We got the good 5s, the good 6s. We can just cut AFD. We only need a 1/7. And yeah, that should work fine. I'm not even sure how I feel about the Diva stuff. because we're not even on Gilman. It's just like 3 extra normal summons to justify running the Future Fusion. Maybe we could go, like, just play 1 Ocean instead. Just, like, take all of it out. Let me think about that. So, first of all, the Treeborn in a deck with Future Fusion and Decree, I think should just go. We can probably go to 2 Lava Golems, side the 3rd one. I think you don't really want to drop 2 of it at once. And how many Fiends are we on then? 1, 2, 3, 4, that guy's searchable. 5, that guy's also searchable. 6, 7, 8, 9. I feel like that's enough Fiends. My other Dark Gaia build plays like 8, and none of them are the heroes either, so I think we got enough Fiends. Triple Gigantes and all the rat targets I think is perfectly solid. I think that's good. I even think the Dandy is good because we have the Future Fusion, so you can send it, get some tokens. I do think Triple Doomsday is mega overkill. I don't know if we need this card at all. It didn't feel like it did much to me. Like, you can use it with Creature Swap, but we can also just make Dandy tokens. It's like Kai's fodder, but Gigantes and other stuff is also Kai's fodder. We play Prodigy. We play, like, the Gore's Trag. I feel like we maybe have enough Kai's fodder as is, so I'll just take those out. Then I think the Divas are, like, the extra normal summons that are causing us to brick on normal summons. And then Mind Control can go to the side since we took out the Divas. And then we gotta fill some spots, actually, huh? That's interesting. What should go in here? So if we're on... Maybe we just, like, double Doom Cowl. Wait, we might need more rocks, actually. How many rocks is this? 1, 2... Yo, wait. Let's play Guardians. Guardian's, like, the best rock. Right? How many rocks are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6, 7, 8 would be Guardians. Yeah, I do think we need more rocks. It's honestly, like, just these 2 that we can get off Rat that was making our Dark Calling live every game, so maybe these. But then we're on a bunch of normal summons again. Let's check our normal summon count, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, we could get away with that. Yeah, let's go with this. Okay, second match. This hand sucks. This hand is just ungodly awful. Yeah, not a lot to say about it. Before we were drawing too many normal summons. Now we have not enough. I should probably feud straight away here, actually. I realized that I didn't have the water target in deck, which was just a deck building oopsie. I end up putting it in after, but I could still have just feud for Gaia, and I don't know why I didn't. Just to, like, get some stuff in play sooner. So we end phase, or we space just before the Stardust comes down just to make sure we can use it. Now we go for the Gaia, but we should have the Gaia coming 1 turn sooner, so this is just a throw. The opponent has Brain Caius, and they, like, play really aggressively here trying to go for game, which I don't think was... I wouldn't have done this. I would have just held that Brain Caius for later, because I almost come back into the game because they, like, just committed all their gas for no reason. I could have hit there, but I decided that we need to Caius. I should have Caius the Caius, though. Definitely a big mistake. I should have Caius the Caius instead of Caiusing the Raikou. That was wrong, because now we're taking 24 when we shouldn't. I could have maybe won this game, actually, if I hadn't misplayed like that. Because we have this now. Yeah, we would have just had 24 more life and this wouldn't be game, so... Although he is Dad. Would I have been able to win? I would have had the Torrential for the Dad coming down. Yeah, I feel like this was anyone's game if I didn't make that little screw up on the turn where I Caiused. I mean, maybe he should have just bottomless the thing, though. Alright, game number 2. I don't know. I guess he just decides to do nothing with this hand. So we hit, he deprisons, that's fine. I want to use his mirror before I heavy, but he just, like, never attacks this game for some reason. Or no, he eventually attacks, okay. Finally he summons something in attack, but at this time I decide we're just going to drop Trag. And we can pretty much win the game from here by making Stardust, special, summon, and now we got Stardust plus Fossil Dyna plus Mirror Force. The only way we're really losing here is to Brain Control exactly, which the opponent is on 1,000, so they could have it. Maybe they should have just rando spaced before they went for this play. Because, yeah, they just lose because I have Mirror Force. They probably should have, and they just definitely should have. So we have End Phase Decree, and then we have Storm, and then they're dead. Game number 3, I open, it's an okay hand. I would rather have, I kind of drew Decree, and they drew no traps. And they're a trap-heavy deck, which is a little bit rough. And then they also draw a piece of interaction that isn't a trap, which sucks for me. I go for the Rat. If this is anything but Book of Moon, we're like fine, but the deck does play multiple Book of Moon, and it's Book of Moon. So we do lose the duel now because they book my Grand Mole. Yeah, I just scoop it up there. I say I'm done, whatever. Things did not go my way in this game, so unfortunately we actually lost that match. We didn't get nearly as lucky as we did in the first match, though, and our opponent wasn't playing as badly either, so those are things to consider. The screw-up with not having the Future Fusion target and not activating the Future Fusion straight away, sort of because of that confusion, definitely hurt me in game number 1, although my opening hand being a complete brick also hurt me in game number 1, so what can you do? Well, that went poorly. Game 1, it really slipped my mind that I forgot to put in the water target for the absolute 0. I was thinking about Ocean, but maybe we could just go back to Treeborn. It's probably fine. Maybe we could go to, like, I don't know, 2 Guardian. Guardian's so good, though. I don't know what should come out. Tough choice. Maybe one of the creature swap, but creature swap's kind of the point. So I am not really sure. Who should it be? Who should it be? We got a number of cards we could cut here. Maybe we could go to like 2 Dark Calling, but I feel like we didn't draw it enough, if anything. We need to cut a monster if we want to play Treeborn. It has to be like maybe it's Strato. No, that's so cursed. We can't do that. Maybe it's like 1 Rat or 1 Guardian. I could see that potentially being the play. Could cut. The Treeborn's so weird, though, because we're on double Decree. But is there like a better water? Maybe just 1 Snowman Eater or something? Or maybe we do play the Ocean, so you can kind of do it both ways there, but I think the Ocean's real bad. So could also just play like Alias and not play Ab-Zero. That's an option. I don't know. It's got to be like, let's just play the Treeborn and then like side one of the Decrees or so. Let's do that. I guess it's a little weird. We could keep the double Decree and then just take out the Torrential or something. I don't know, it's tough. I think having the traps are good. Could just go to 41. I'm not really sure the exact way to round out this list. I do think the version with the Guardians is better than the version with the Divas, but the Vayu player we played against the first time was just like making a lot of pretty egregious misplays, and that would be why we won that one and lost the second one. Ultimately, I don't know where to go with this. I think Decree is good. I think Lava Golem was surprisingly good, actually, when we drew it. It was definitely a solid card. The creature swaps they definitely performed as well. So interesting build, interesting deck all around. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.